the MMA India Show.
So, Andre, thank you once again for taking the time to talk to us. Obviously, it has been a big week and a half for you. Very excited for you after the fight, after the manner in which you dominated against a former Bantamweight champion. So, congratulations on the win. And,
Thank you.
Just to, start things off, how has the past week and a half been for you?
Still getting back to all the messages, man. I really am. Coming out with like super deals, people kind of calling me with business opportunities and stuff like that. Then the majority of everything is just wishing me congratulations. End up giving me the call to show love, to kick it, stuff like that.
Right, and just before we talk about your fight with Renan Barao, I wanted to get your thoughts on when you got the call from the UFC. You obviously talked about it after the post-fight, during the post-fight interview. But when did you get to kind of know that you had to fight against a former bantamweight champion?
Basically, like after I already signed everything, people started kind of like breaking it down to me, which is like my cousin, coach, and basically everybody in the world you could possibly think of. Stating like, oh, you're fighting like an ex-champ, the person that used to run it, he was the big bad wolf and all that other stuff. But me personally, like I hardly watch tape, and it's like ain't nothing against anybody. It's just that, in this game you got to end up crafting and perfecting yourself, and making other people try to adapt to you, and that's just how I honestly feel about the situation. So with that, I didn't know much until the day they all broke it down to me, who Renan Barao was and everything. So, but again, anybody in the cage, it's automatically gets respect from me. But how I am, I treat everybody the same and all equal. So, the way I look at it is just it's lunch for me, man.
Right, and you were going into the enemy territory, so to say, because you were going to Brazil to fight against their guy. When we talk about the Brazilian fighters, we talk about Jose Aldo first and Renan Barao second. He has dominated the bantamweight division for so long. So when you got to know that it was, Barao that you're going to face in your debut fight in the UFC, what went through your mind just in the initial few seconds?
Basically what went through my mind was another job. Like me being like really frank about the situation. It's just that, like, I'm used to adapting to other people or adapting to my surroundings in a way. And it's really, like, quicker than most. I guess you could end up saying that, like, growing up, childhood didn't have the best. So I had to adapt to that, something that I'm comfortable, or me being uncomfortable with, end up becoming, like, a natural habit, nice habitat type of situation, So, proud, able to easily end up entering that and making it my own. And then it comes down to that moment, like when you're in the cage. The cage is my house, It's just how I look at it and how I end up moving. You don't get nervous at your own home, You sitting on your shitter or you cooking food. You don't get nervous. When the times you do get nervous, when you go to your friend's house or a person that you don't know and you're up in there talking about, hey, I'm about to make something. Sorry, is it cool if I can go over there and make a sandwich or something like that, That's where that awkwardness kicks in. You feel uncomfortable or you don't feel like it's you or whatnot. But in the cage, it's my house, man. It doesn't really matter. Like, I don't get nervous like that. Like, actually, I don't get nervous at all. Like, I have so much stuff going on that in my head and outside of the cage that it doesn't even really matter when I get in there. It's like when I get in there, everything kind of shuts down and it just lets me be me. And where I am, you put a camera in front of me, I'm turning that into main event / a super event that you want to watch. It's entertaining, Mr. Entertainment.
Right, so before we talk about your Renan Barao fight, I also want to kind of dwell on what you just said, because before your fight, you came out and said you came very close to losing your home. Just some things, some factors that kind of influenced your fight, before you got into the octagon. So how difficult was it for you to just get your mind, straight into the fight and get inside the octagon?
That part right there is just, it's basically me growing up, like I stated, it's adapting, man. Like, people don't really understand when I use that word adapt. Like, I'm used to all the criticism, all the talk down to, all that you're not going to make it, all that you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that, you're not going to make this, and you're not going to make that. It doesn't matter how hard you work, it doesn't matter. But I am like a proven given token of letting people know that hard work can get you where you need to go, you know? Like I stated, I always end up saying this, like, you know, I'm not the type that prays, I'm not the type that that wishes, I'm the type that works his ass off to get to, you know, where to go. Hard work gets you, you know?
Right.
People that sit home just simply like, hey, let me like wish for this or let me pray for that, and then hopefully somebody like a knight in shining armor might pop up and give me a token. Nah, it doesn't work that way, you know? It's like we're in a world that you have to end up doing things. Not everybody's gifted with everything that other people are gifted with, like, you know?
Right.
Like I wasn't fortunate with a lot of money, like, or money, like, period, you know? But I was gifted with the skill of combat, or the skill of adapting and taking enough knowledge that I need to end up building what I need, you know?
Correct.
So it's just stuff like that. Like, you know, you just got to end up picking the perks of what you're gifted with in life and work off on that. And like I stated, I'm just fighting and I got a great IQ on it. And I'm building off of that, and I'm not just using talent. I'm using hard work to build on my dedication to keep on pushing forward to do the best. Hands down, I want to be the best. Hands down, I'm going to be the best. That's my mentality about things. So when it came to that cage, everything got shut up. It doesn't really matter. Because I already know me performing the way that I perform, no one can beat me. Me performing the way that I perform, it's going to end up getting me to the top, where me worrying about getting being homeless or me worrying about getting into my son's life ain't going to be a problem anymore. You know?
Right.
So it's hard work. Everything's hard work.
Absolutely. And what you said is interesting because you've mentioned adaptability so much. The first round kind of looked like, you know, Barao had the upper hand, but in the second and the third round, you obviously turned things around. So obviously, when you go to the judges, especially in Brazil against one of the, you know, favorite fighters, was there any part of you that thought, you know, something might go wrong, something might go the other way, and Barao might be given the victory?
No. I actually knew that I was going to win that. It was like one of those things that it doesn't matter how bad judges are, or judges could be, or how biased things is. It's one of those plain in sight, bruh, he lost.
Right.
You know, it's one of those things. So even if they would have gave it to him, I won the crowd. It would have been one of those things.
Right.
I came out with one of those things. So even deep down in his heart knew that he lost. It's like one of those, I beat you. You know I beat you, hands down. And then that's like including like of everything that ended up happening still into that situation. It was a fair shake. You know, and I knew they was going to give me the fair shake on the situation. So, you know, but yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, when I went into that, it was, I knew I got it, but it was, you know, there's always that one side as you don't know, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but again, I already knew if they would have ended up giving it to him, it would have been me walking out stating, as in me stating that we all know I won, the crowd know I won, you know I won. Hey, we're walking off on that, like, you know?
Right.
But again, so that's what's happening. Bump that.
Right. And I say that because one of the judges gave Barao 29-28 with a split decision victory.
Yeah.
So it could go either ways. We have seen circumstances like that kind of swinging, even if the fans did not think that the fighter won. But again, you know, just going back, when after the fight, did it kind of sink in for you that you just beat the former bantamweight kingpin of the UFC?
Ask that question one more again. One more time, please.
After the fight, how long did it take for you, or did it sink in for you? Did it do that inside the octagon when, you know, the winner was announced, that you thought, wow, I just beat the former bantamweight kingpin of the UFC, the former UFC Bantamweight Champion?
Man, me being frank about the situation, I guess you could say it still hasn't hit, because in my eyes, like I stated, man, every opponent's the same to me, dude. Like, it doesn't even matter. It could have been like TJ over there. In my eyes, it's like, all right, I beat another opponent, you know?
Right.
It's like every fight that ends up coming in, it's always going to be something similar into that direction. Like, it's always going to be the same until people say you are the best fighter in this game or in this sport. It doesn't matter, like, who the opponent is. It doesn't matter who I beat. It doesn't matter until I get there. Like, you know, so I already know once I dominate 35, they're going to say I'm the best 35. then that's where it's going to end up sitting. Oh shit, I beat all these people, you know. And then when I end up moving up and I beat them, it's going to be like, oh shit, I just beat them, like, you know, like every fight that I end up winning, I just want them to know that I'm fighting opponents that will prove that I am the best. Like right now, I just fought someone that has a dangerous back or a dangerous foot. Right now, you guys all saying that, you know, he's the baddest guy. In my eyes, he's a black belt from Brazil and all that other stuff. That's what hit it. I survived on the floor. That's what's like the highlight of my life.
Right.
You know, everybody, oh yeah, he won. Oh yeah, he did this, he did that. But me, it's I survived on the floor with a black belt, a Brazilian black belt.
Right.
That got his belt in Brazil. Like, you know, like that's my highlight. Like
Right.
it's not, oh, I beat this guy. It's that I survived. Like, you know, like I rolled and got up. Like, you know, like people end up getting that. Like we getting 2 submission moves and I escaped. Like people don't like. No one's like end up getting like the highlight of the real big picture to me, and that's the big picture.
Correct.
But yeah, so like I said, everybody's the same to me.
Correct. So after the fight, was that the biggest takeaway for you? That you managed to, you know, thwart his advances? The first round, as I said, Barao was kind of more dominant, per se. Was that the biggest takeaway for you?
You said the biggest takeaway?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, you can go ahead and sit there and state that. Because, you know, I wouldn't end up being in that situation if I didn't basically hit a rookie mistake. And when I dropped him, I kind of like ran on it. And if I didn't end up doing that, I'm guaranteed it would have been different. Like, you want to end up seeing me, or I would have took all 3 rounds. It's like one of those things.
Right.
You know, like I have good takedown defense, but takedown defense gets thrown out the window when you end up coming out of your game plan to honestly do something else. Like, you know, I saw the opportunity. I saw a wounded lion, and what I ended up doing was to go ahead and attack him. And that kind of like bit me in the butt. So what I ended up doing, I adapted to make sure the next round wasn't like that. In the 3rd round, I came down to being more perfection of you just have to end my punch, and every time that he made his attempt, he couldn't end up taking me down. Or, yeah, you know. And then on another added bonus, I took him down. I got 1 takedown on him.
Right.
On somebody that takedown defense is supposed to be top notch. You
Right.
know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like another highlight of the night for me. I took someone down, and I don't take people down. People don't really get that. I don't take people down. I can wrestle.
Right.
I can obviously jits, and I can obviously survive with jits. But it comes down to that moment where I don't have to. Basically, like this. I have a game plan. I told people straight up. What is my game plan? I'm about to hit him with my 2. I'm gonna hit him with my backhand. I'm gonna hit him all. You know. And now the question is, what are you gonna do about it?
Right.
And he wasn't able to do anything about the situation. So it's like there's no need for me to switch up or end up adding things when you can't stop one thing. Like, you know.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. So now going back, you just defeated the former Bantamweight champion in your very first fight. Does that kind of put additional pressure on you? Or who do you look at in the division and say, okay, that's the next fight for me because you just beat the former champion?
Well, right now, for me, the next fight that I end up looking at, as in you want to say pressure, for me, I don't feel pressure. I feel like I'm on top of the world right now. I literally feel like Michael Jackson, as we speak. I'm the bad guy. I'm bad. Like, you know, who's bad? That's me. That's me. That's how I feel right now. You know, but anything that ends up proving my point, because I hear the critics and I hear the people out there that's telling me that what I need to do is basically I have to fight someone that has a number on it. And that's what I'm looking for. I want someone with the number. And that's what I'm like aiming for, because I'm aiming to fight for December 28th Cyborgs card in Vegas. I'm aiming to jump on that card, and I want a number. Anybody want a number, or anybody that's actually super exciting that will push me to that. Like don't want nothing more. I want some excitement. The crowd wants to see fight, a banging situation. That's what they want. I want to give that to that crowd. You know? So like I'm seeing numbers. Even Dotson will be like awesome fucking fight.
Right.
He's number 8 at the moment.
Right.
So if I get my hands on him, I'll be number 8 at the moment. But if they don't give me that, like anybody that's open to strike and that's down, like, hey, I'm down. You know, let's start this party.
Right, but did you have any initial discussions with the UFC as to when you're going to fight next, or when do you want to fight next?
Yeah, that's what we're on. That's a negotiation right now. Try to get. They're like, I understand they're like worried about my hand because like I literally destroyed it, but it ain't broken, so that's good news. I'll find my finger, you see. Ended up testing it earlier today, and come Monday I'm gonna punch it. So everything's honestly gravy. So that's what they're like waiting for. Waiting for that okay to see. But if they got that news, I feel like they're gonna put me on that card. Now it's just about getting the right opponent. Right opponent, someone with the. Though me, it don't matter. You know, that's just honestly how I feel. Anything to get me closer to number one.
Right, and obviously you're a family man. After your fight, you posted about how important it was for you to get back and be with your family. Can you kind of describe what the emotions were once you got back, once you achieved this victory and kind of returned to your family?
Everybody's excited, you know, and they all watched it, and they always, you know, come back home. They did demonstrating the things. My mom made gumbo. Excited about that, you know. Got back to my woman. Being around her has been so much amazing. She ended up doing like a special thing for me where, like she knows like my background, where I end up like watching my son grow up from out of pictures and everything. And so basically, like, still, you know, fighting to get in his life, and she made all these picture frames with me and my boy, or just with my boys. So it was like something special. So that kind of like put me in the fear. So it was an emotional roller coaster, and I think that kind of like took me out of the spotlight of, oh, hey, I'm up here, to humbling me down as in what I need to do, what I need to honestly, or what am I fighting for, and all that other stuff, and everybody, my family, and me. So yeah. It just lets me know that I'm still at the bottom of the hill, or bottom of the mountain, and I'm still climbing. You know? Like, I made progress, but I still got a lot of movement to go. You know, work to get.
Right. So how you use the word humbling, but how, you know, difference was the emotions after beating a former bantamweight champion to coming back to your family and kind of experiencing the turbulence, or, you know, you talked about what it was before the fight and what it is after the fight. What are the emotions like after the fight?
Well, after the fight, like I stated, it's the same, man. Everything, like, people end up understanding that I am the same person. That will never end up changing. I always tell people, love me like I'm still in the basement. Like how you treated me before I end up getting to this spot, treat me like I am, like that, like I was there. Like, you know. There's no need to end up treating me or acting around me different, because I'm like the awkwardest person in like the world, you know. So it's like when I feel uncomfortable, or when it kind of comes weird, it's like, I don't know how many times I can say thank you, you know, to the same person. How many times, you know? It's like, oh, thank you. All right, thank you. I just keep repeating it, and eventually it's gonna turn down like, hey, you don't mean that, and it's like, I'm sorry, I said it to you about 5 times already, you know. But yeah, just how I am. It's like the emotions. And it's not skyrocketing. It's just me being me, and it's time for me to basically enjoy what I'm doing. And what I'm doing, or actually, I've been enjoying everything I'm doing. It's just that it's time to almost place me back onto the skirts of get back in the training camp and everything, you know. So, me, it's work, and I'm gonna continue to keep working. And that's all I have to end up placing it on.
Fantastic. And as you said, your next fight probably will be towards November end. Is that correct?
Yeah, the number guy. Yeah, number.
No.
In December.
In December.
Yeah.
Any ideal card that you're looking at this point?
The card just the December 28th. And the guy still not yet. Yeah. But yeah, so it's going to be in Vegas under Cyborg versus Nunes. Like, that's the one that I'm looking for.
Okay.
I'm trying to Cyborg. Yeah. He's cool.
Right, and your team is currently discussing about maybe John Dodson, maybe Jimmy Rivera, maybe anyone in the bantamweight division that is currently top ranked in
there
top
you go.
10.
Yeah, top 10, top 15, whatever number like I stated. You know, right now I know I'm the new guy, I'm the new booty. So by me being that guy, I can only say so, or I can only ask for so much. But since that previous fight, I kind of got a little bit more leeway, for the fact that I'm still taking a fight with a guy that came overweight and everything. And I could have been one of those guys that could just simply said no,
Right.
But I enjoy fights. They know I enjoy fights. I proved my point. So it's one of those things. So I might get a little something out of this, and it might be a guy with a number. And that's what I'm aiming for. And that's, because if they say no now, eventually they're going to have to say yes, because eventually I'm going to be the one holding the belt, But that's how I look at it.
Right. I was going to ask you about that. Was there any point in your training camp, because again, this is a UFC debut against a former champion, was there any point during the fight week when Barao weighed in over the limit where your team went, maybe this is not such a good idea?
Nope. I already cut that off everybody. One, we already knew he wasn't going to make weight, or felt like he wasn't going to make weight. And adding on top of the situation, even if he would have came in at 55, I still would have took the fight. And that's just me being frank about the situation. Like I stated, I'm here to prove a point that through 35 to 55, I'm the best. So they just got to end up either biting the bullet or take the challenge and understand that I'm here to take over. And that's how I look at it.
All right, fantastic. Thank you once again, Andre. Been a pleasure talking to you. You, as I said, it's been just 1 hour weeks, so I'm pretty sure you're still riding high on your win against a former bantamweight kingpin. So congratulations, all the very best, and I'm gonna catch up again once the next fight is announced. Enjoy the time, my friend.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Take care,
Peace
sir.
to you, man.
Have a good day.
Likewise.